You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
The Miami Dolphins have lost a key player heading into the 2025 NFL season. To delve into that, as always, I'm Kadeem Simmons. Before I introduce the host of Go Time Dolphins, just a reminder, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from, leave a 5-star review. It helps us out greatly. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But as I said, I'm Kadeem and I'm joined as always by Mr. Charlie Touche. Charlie, tell everyone what time it is.
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. Kadeem, you eat cereal?
No. It's not that I don't eat cereal. I don't really eat breakfast in general. So if I am to eat cereal, I'm normally in the office. It's around 11 o'clock. I'm peckish. Or it's like 2 a.m. I'm watching the Dolphins and the cereal in the house. But I'm not someone who wakes up every morning and has cereal.
You say you peckish, huh?
I'm peckish.
Whatever that means.
It means a lot.
You don't have to. Cereal doesn't have to be for breakfast though. It could be a snack. Like I eat cereal just as a snack. Like, you know what? Right now I would like some cereal. Like, yo, it's 6 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Watch some MMA films or MMA guru or some. You know what I'm saying? Who knows on YouTube? Something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just eat some cereal. But nah,
No, I get that.
Just had a bowl of Lucky Charms. This thing went down. Went all the way down. Oatmeal, hey, Cat for Life said oatmeal over cereal for sure. More protein, bro. I've been eating oatmeal since I was 4 years old. I love oatmeal. I can't even get off it. That's what I really have for breakfast every day. Oatmeal and bananas. Hey, Kadeem. Calais Campbell was mulling over his decision on where to go or what to do with his career. It did not feel like the Miami Dolphins had a chance to bring him back. I know we're in Miami and we would like to be optimistic, but right now it doesn't feel like a destination. And when you hear players say, I want to play for a championship contending team. He went to Arizona. That's where he was from. Calais Campbell went back to Arizona. Well, that's where his first team, the first team he played for in the NFL is. It was the Cardinals. So he went home in a sense. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily a Super Bowl contender, but at the same time, the past 2 seasons felt like Miami was a destination. It doesn't feel like a destination anymore, or am I tripping, Kadeem?
Shout out to the people in the comments. We've already mentioned Cap for Life. Michael Desire says fins up, Michael. And there's a longer comment from Cap, which we will get to shortly. I feel like Miami is a destination. I feel like this offseason, the Dolphins and Chris Greer kind of closed the book, or closed the checkbook, I should say. If what is out there is true, Campbell's getting, I think, $7 million from the Cardinals, and the Dolphins offered Campbell something like $2 million. And part of that is from what Cap is saying. The compensatory pick formula pretty much keeps us from getting any free agents past $3 million. That's the reason Campbell wasn't offered more, because we've got a 4th-round pick in return. And yeah, it kind of feels like the Dolphins have gone, not only do we have a set limit on what we're going to offer players, we aren't going to splurge on bringing back a Calais Campbell or bringing back someone else. if it's going to mess up our comp picks next year. And what's interesting is that, to me, it's a sign of a GM who believes he'll be here next year. If you kind of know you're not going to be here next year, you don't care about them picks next year. Sorry, Charlie.
F them picks. Kadeem got the black and white theme going on, y'all boys. Like, listen, this is pretty epic. Kadeem started up today. Kadeem has a black NWO shirt. Everyone knows what the NWO shirt is with the white letters. And he has the black Go Time Dolphins hat with the white letters. Hey, you doing it right now, Kadeem. I ain't gonna lie to you. How's all to you, bro?
I'm wearing black in mourning. Woke up to the news that Val Kilmer passed away. Val Kilmer is probably my favorite Batman. If you're watching on YouTube, I've got let's see if I can try and get a better angle of this. Yeah, the Batman Forever logo, which is the Val Kilmer film. The better lighting. So yeah, also got a candle burning. So yeah, thought I'd go with like a black and white theme, just bit of mourning today. But
so I didn't know Val Kilmer passed away, and Val Kilmer is in one of my favorite movies,
Heat.
That's another good one, but no, he's in Heat. He's in Heat, which is that's a classic, Kadeem. But I got another classic that Val Kilmer is in. You ready? Tombstone. You ever seen Tombstone?
I haven't, but I've seen the clips this morning of it's like a Western film with him. Bro, and
listen, it is the movie. It has to be top 7 all time, bro. Like, I'm your Huckleberry. Say when. I got 2 guns, 1 for each of you. Like, bro, listen, Val Kilmer was a dude, man. Shout out to Val Kilmer.
Yeah. One of my friends was like, Val Kilmer is in one of my top 5 Batman movies. And I had to be like, there's not enough Batman movies for top 5 to be a standout number. Like, that's stupid, but as a whole other conversation. But yeah, sorry to break the news that
shout out to IMAX and Cat for Life said the same thing I just said. I'll be your Huckleberry. Dang, that's a movie, boy. I'm gonna have to watch it this week just cause.
I need to watch Batman Forever, 100%. I've also never seen Heat.
I'm done. That's it. We're out of here. We're out, bro. What?
I've never seen Heat. When did Heat come out?
94,
95.
Like, bro, so bro, listen, bro. Like, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Val Kilmer. That's all I got.
The black guy from
the State Farm guy.
Possible.
The State Farm guy.
Allstate
guy. Allstate. The one with the deep voice.
Yeah, he's in Mission Impossible. Like, he's Tom Cruise's like right hand man and stuff. But yeah, Iceman from Top Gun. I've never seen Top Gun, but I've seen Top Gun 2. Don't know if that counts. But
you've seen Top Gun Maverick, but not the original.
Yeah, we're just watching it. Like, I think me and the family being a wife and stuff like that. But yeah, Val Kilmer, but Klies Campbell. What do you make of my opinion that the Dolphins are being cheap because 1, the comp picks, and 2, Chris Greer believes will be here next year.
And plus, it's the draft for D line. So this is, I think they're going to manufacture a way to get more 4th round picks or 5th round picks. Again, Devon Gottschall was a 5th round pick. And if there's ever a draft where you feel like you can build the foundation of a D line, which the foundation is already there. Let's not forget, we got Jalen Phillips, we got Bradley Chubb, friend of the podcast, Chop Robinson, all of them boys are edge rushers. Then Zach Sealer's in the middle. We don't need much on the D line. You know what I'm saying? So if you add 2 pieces from interior D line, now you feel a little bit better about the lack of safety depth. You know what I'm saying? Because now you hope your D line could get there. And we've seen what the Eagles did to the Chiefs. But as far as Calais Campbell himself, bro. When we were at the game, the first game, opening game of the season. Me and you, Kadeem. Shout out to Dolphin UK. They were there. They got us there. We took pics, did a podcast episode there and everything. When Calais Campbell came out as a captain, it was like, bro, you ain't play a snap for the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? Like, you haven't stepped foot in the Dolphins locker room, and you became a captain. You know what I'm saying? And then I think it was like the first play. It was the first series for sure. He got a sack. I think he got 2 sacks in the first series.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like, oh, my bad, bro. My bad, big bro. You feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? And nah, bro. And then you started to hear murmurs of who he was in the locker room, who he was as a captain, and how he became a captain and why he was a captain. And I'm concerned, Kadeem. I said I was concerned before. I was concerned about Tyreek Hill's comments after the game and potentially moving him. I'm even more concerned now, not just because we lost Calais Campbell, but all of it's going to add up to something. And I'm going to let you have the floor before I tell you what it adds up to.
It's interesting though, because yeah, there's been a vacuum or a hole has appeared in terms of leadership, in terms of veteran presence, all that kind of stuff. But if we're to believe what we heard, that veteran and leadership presence in the locker room last season, I'm not gonna say didn't do much, but it sounded like people were turning up late, all this kind of stuff. So I'm not saying we're going to improve and players are going to hold themselves even more account now that Campbell's gone, now that others have gone. But this wasn't a locker room last year that was, what we had under Brian Flores, and now Campbell's gone, it's all going to fall to pieces. It's a locker room which needed a change, in my opinion, simply because a culture is beginning to seep in where guys can turn up too late for meetings and all that kind of stuff, and there doesn't seem to be much punishment.
Kadeem, who are our captains last year? Can you tell us?
Tua, Tyreek Hill, I assume to run Armstead. I want to say David Long Jr., but he was cut. He might have been the captain the year before. Don't know if he was one again this year. Obviously, Calais Campbell, and I think Zach Sealer and Alec Ingold, but I might be wrong.
Ding, ding, ding. You hit them all, Kadeem. That was crazy, bro. Like, dang. We should have had a giveaway for that. That should have been a giveaway, bro. I did not know you was going to come through like that. So with Kadeem saying who the captains were last year, let me pull up this comment. Shout out to Jason Keck. We appreciate you here. People are overreacting and overthinking it, in my opinion. Here's why I don't think, at least I'm not overreacting and overthinking it. Did you just hear the captains that Kadeem said we had last year? Tyreek, Teron Armstead, Calais Campbell, and David Long Jr. If I'm being real, none of them are here no more. Tyreek ain't even a captain, if we're being real. And if he is here, he's a cancer, not a captain. You know what I'm saying? So I'm concerned for this locker room. The only person I see holding down the fort in the locker room, I'm talking about not on the field, not how good the players are, just the culture that needs to be put down. Like, if we say we want dogs and we want winners and we need someone to scratch and claw, bro, Bradley Chubb is it right now. It feels like. You know what I'm saying?
Ramsey.
I don't even know if he want to be here. There was a tweet inside with Jalen Ramsey too. And then it was, don't read into my tweets. But he put the stuff out there. Bro, listen, I don't trust the locker room right now. Not the athletes and the players, and I don't trust the ability of the players. I just don't trust the locker room because it starts in the locker room. It starts with, nah, bro, it's playing for the man next to you type stuff. You feel me? You can't look around that locker room and be like, oh yeah, I got you. I got you too. Oh yeah, I got you. Like, Tyreek isn't giving off that vibe right now. No one's dying on the Tyreek Hill. I couldn't put that one together, but on the Tyreek Hill. Oh, look, the Tyreek Hill. You feel me?
Yeah.
No one's dying on that hill, bro. So I'm concerned because Calais Campbell was a captain. He was a voice in the locker room. He was a veteran. Another captain got cut mid-season. Is Tua the voice that you really want to hear rallying up the troops? Let's be real. He's my favorite player. That's not what I want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
So it's like, isn't there that clip from the Hard Knocks season where I think he's talking to Teron Armstead? I think it might be the Dallas game. And like there's that I don't want to say plucky leadership, but that like leadership side that we don't see of Tua too often, where everyone's like, hey, okay, if he like the way he talks to Ron is respectful, but also like, yo, I'm a captain. Like what I say and like my voice holds weight in this room. Or is that just more Tua needs to be more present on the field before people can really take him as serious as a leader?
Kadeem, I hear you. Yeah, you want your quarterback to be a captain and know what he's talking about and deliver. And a part of being a captain, Kadeem, is being available for your team too. You know what I'm saying? Like, can't be the captain from the sideline. Can't make the club in the tub. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't work. So, who do you want to hear, Kadeem? You want to hear Joey Porter in the locker room? You want to hear Tua? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, nah, bro. I want winners. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want my linebacker and my D line and my Ronnie Lott safety to rally up the troops when it's time to. I want Ed Reed to give me a speech at halftime, talk about I'm hurt, dog. While we already winning too. By the way, everybody didn't even know we were winning that game when Ed Reed made that speech. Miami Hurricanes, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were winning that game, and he made that speech like we were down 17. That's what I want. I don't see nobody in the locker room like that. Like, Bradley Chubb is the only one I see like that. I'm concerned, bro.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like part of the leadership or part of that culture comes from winning, and the Dolphins are definitely a team in which, like you said, people join because the atmosphere in Miami, I've lived it, it's amazing, but also they think they're joining a winner. And when things aren't going your way, there is probably that part of, I've come here for this. Like, I might have got the check, but especially if you're Jalen Ramsey, you want another ring. If you're Tyreek Hill, you know, you leave and the Chiefs just, you know, nearly three-peat. It's like, you know, what are we doing? But yeah, again, you know, part of it does come down to the leaders we have. Are they really rally the troops leaders, or are they kind of like a do as I say, not as I do? And even then, some of what you do isn't what you should be really teaching the next generation.
You don't have to lead you don't have to be boisterous to rally the troops. But at the same time, who do you trust in the locker room to get the team up when we're down 5 with 2 minutes left? 3 minutes left. Don't matter who has the ball, defense or offense. You're down 5 with 3 minutes left. Who do you look to on the sideline today, right now?
It sounds funny, but Tua's proven it. Like, Tua's proven probably not as much as we would like, but hey, if he needs to lock in and drive down the field to get us into field goal range or win in overtime, he's done it. Outside of that,
we down 5. We don't need a field goal right now, Kadeem.
No, but I'm saying, like, I was always talking about, you have the game in Christmas Day game or Christmas Eve game against Dallas. Me and Lee were talking about the overtime game against the Paper Planes last year. On defense, yeah, but the people that we've lost, I can't really sit here and be like, yeah, I guess you're really looking at Jalen Ramsey to be like, hey, can you rewind time and do something spectacular? Outside of that, it's too much pressure. Do you feel
good about that, though? Do you feel good about that?
No,
as a fan, trying to find someone to, you know, identify with in this moment when you're down with 3 minutes left, do you feel good about the names you just mentioned? Or
I do. It's more, I would like to have a whole bunch of names. I want to look to X, Y, Z, A, B, C. And looking at one person.
That's my point, Kadeem. I don't want 1 or 2 people. I want a plethora of people, Kadeem. I want 9 people. Like, yo, we ain't even gotta say nothing. We already here. I don't want people just happy to get a check, happy to be living in the city of Miami. Like, oh, if we lose, I'm going out on the boat. Remember, we told you got that yacht party. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? I was about to say something bad, and then probably gonna get the stream flag. You feel me? But I want people that's gonna take your head off. You feel me? Yeah, I like Tua. And I like him to put us in better positions too. I like him. I like him to come back if we have to. I didn't say that. I just said leaders who's going to rally the troops. That is it. And again, it's hard to be in Tua's cleats when, bro, you're not always here with us. You're not always on the field of battle with us. You know what I'm saying? If you're even on the field of battle with us, you can't rally the troops from the sideline. You feel me? All right, y'all boys go out there and get it. Can't do that, bro. So yeah, I'm back to what Jason Keck said. I'm a little concerned right now. You know what I'm saying? But I don't love it. What did you make of Coach McDaniel talking at the owners meeting? He spoke on quite a few things.
I think it was an impressive. He said it. What's the best way of putting this? It was a lot of sound bites. A lot of stuff was like, great, I want to hear that in April, March. But so much of it comes down to, can we execute once the season starts again? I'm looking at him talking about, me paraphrasing here, but knowing how important it is, or how privileged it is to be an NFL coach and not taking it for granted and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, that's great, but I need you to deliver better in in-game situations. Talking about Zach Wilson, great. Talking about, Tyreek Hill, great. I don't believe a single word he says about Tyreek Hill. That's a whole nother conversation. I feel like there's a lot of things which you can take away and, they'll be great on a Fins Extra tweet and all that kind of stuff. But none of it really matters if we're sitting here in January and it's Black Monday and he's being fired. Like, the time for talking is kind of done. It was kind of done last season, if I'm honest.
Whether you believe Tyreek Hill is going to be here or not, whether you believe we trade Tyreek Hill before the season or not, Tyreek Hill has checked out. He's checked out, bro. He might even be here. He might be on the team. We might keep him. He's still checked out. He's here, but he's not here. And just to address that real quick, the consensus in Dolphins media is we won't trade Tyreek because the dead cap is too high and it'll be absurd. All right, bro, Diggs, Buffalo ate more dead cap with Stephon Diggs. And they got a 2 and maybe a 5th for Diggs. And my thing would be, Tyreek Hill was way better than what Diggs was when he was traded. And it was $28 million dead cap. So it's not out the realm of possibility that we move him. As much as everyone is saying, oh, it's never going to happen. I don't know. Like, I really do feel like there's a chance he's not on this team. So, yeah. And then reaching for a first, that's a lot. But, there's only one Tyreek Hill. So it's unlikely. But either way, it's bad situations for the Dolphins. It's not a good. I don't feel good about any of it going into the season. So now you have Tyreek Hill, who talking about what Mike McDaniel said. He's like, oh, Tyreek does what Tyreek does on social media. I like Coach McDaniel. I love Coach McDaniel when he didn't care about nobody else. He was still cracking the corny jokes. He was authentically himself. He didn't care what people thought about him or he spoke the way he spoke. And it was super cool when we were winning games. But when you're losing, and I don't want to say we are losing, but we had a losing season now, and it was just at the worst time. I like the fact that he's still authentically himself. I appreciate that out of McDaniel. Same could be said for Tyreek, because Tyreek has been the same thing forever. You know what I'm saying? Since he came, he was just trolling on social media and stuff. But it's a little different with Tyreek. Like the notes hit a little different when you quit on the team. So before, when you were trolling and you were putting up 1,700 yards in back-to-back season, it was cool. It was whatever. I didn't care at all. You know what I'm saying? People in my phone, what you think about Tyreek? Bro, what you think about Tyreek putting up 1,700 yards in back-to-back seasons? How about that? So I didn't care what he was doing on social media. Now that he quit on the team, though, Kadeem, and he's still with the antics on social media, and everything he says is just, he just doesn't feel like he's a Dolphin no more. This is concerning. You said Greer is moving as if he's going to be here next year. I kind of think he's going to be here next year, Kadeem, because I believe, although I don't feel good about this season, I do believe the Dolphins have the talent to make a playoff run. It doesn't feel good saying it, not like a strong playoff run, but I believe it'll be enough to keep Greer, Tua, and McDaniel around for at least a minimum of another season. So it's like you're buying time now, like one season at a time, and I think they'll have enough to get that season out of this year. But if they don't, they'll be out of here. And so yeah, what's the alternative to Greer? Like, what, he's supposed to just act like he's not going to be here next year? Like he has to move in a certain way.
Well, I was going to say people who truly believed he was getting fired this year. That's your opinion, but Chris Greer was never going to deviate from what Chris Greer knows, because he doesn't know that. If you really thought Chris Greer, and actually, to be honest, Chris Greer has splashed the cash in the past. It's how we got Tyreek Hill. It's how he went and got, Teron Armstead, all these other plays and stuff like that.
Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, I think people expected him to go all in this year, but it's like the Dolphins don't have the cap space and a lot of other stuff to really do that. But also, it's if he starts panicking now, that's, to me, the sign of someone who is no longer in control. And once that happens, you kind of have to go. It's across all sports. Managers have one game to save their job. So many times it's, if the team loses this week, then they're out of a job. I've always said, if it gets to that situation for a manager, he has to go, because you can't lead a team knowing that the next time you fail, you're going to lose a job. Like, that's no way to lead, in my opinion. And I think with Chris Greer, if a conversation has been had with Stephen Ross, where it's like, if things don't work out this year, you have to go, then to me, he has to go now. And I don't think that conversation has happened. I think that's why Stephen Ross put out the statement like before Black Monday even hit, where he was like, I'm making it clear now, there will be no changes in the offseason in terms of, head coach, GM, all that kind of stuff. It might be seen as like the final sign of support, but I think at the very least, Chris Greer needs to go into the season knowing it's business as usual until it's not. Because like I said, once you get to a stage where, hey, if you guys don't turn around, if you guys don't nail the draft, if you guys don't move picks from next year into this year, blah, 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 yeah, you might as well fire me, because you don't see a long-term future in me. And at that point, it's over.
Bro, you know how many times the Eagles try to fire Howie Roseman, or the fans try to get Howie Roseman out of there? Like, oh, get rid of him. He missed on Justin Jefferson. He drafted Jalen Naylor over Justin. Get him out of here. We don't want him. Super Bowl. Yeah. Get rid of him. We don't want him. Super Bowl. You feel me? Like, bro, like, you got to stay the course. And speaking of the Eagles, and just to bring it all together, Vic Fangio, Dolphin fans, get rid of him. He doesn't blitz. He doesn't do X, Y, and Z. Vic Fangio leaves, go to Philly, stays the course, does his own thing, wins the Super Bowl. So
with a rookie defense as well. That defense is young.
You have to keep your identity. Your identity is your identity. If Chris Greer goes down with the ship, go down with the ship. It's cool. So, and then that way you can say, well, I went out on my own. You know what I'm saying? And I'm okay with that. So listen, man, Chris Greer blow this draft. I'll be the first one to tell y'all boys, like, hey, my dog blew it. He blew it, y'all. Like, it's a wrap. We're out of here. But I'm good with. We had one guy to go, Kadeem. We had one guy to go. We talked about Chris Greer, McDaniel, and Tua, and then we try to put, hey, who's the blame and who's the safe one? And for me, I thought Chris Greer out of the three did the best out of Chris Greer, McDaniel, and Tua. So Chris Greer is not my problem. Are you on mute, champ?
No. I was saying, I don't know why I'm still on mute. I pressed the mute button. But yeah, to kind of go back to the Calais Campbell stuff, but also keep it on Chris Greer, it's something Jason Keck said earlier, I believe. Yeah, it means we still need a defensive tackle and a younger one, not ready to retire. That's all. And the Calais Campbell move had a lot of people drafting a defensive tackle at 13. The Dolphins needed at least 2 defensive linemen, in my opinion, this draft. That's still the case. We just done mock draft Monday. We've got another one coming up on Monday. Does the Calais Campbell move mean defensive tackle has to be the pick at 13? Or is it a case of people who haven't seen any of our mock drafts, are new to the channel, and if it is the case, hey, welcome, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, greatly appreciated. Is there enough depth in this class to go later on and basically, maybe not in terms of an initial impact, but in terms of snap count, replace the likes of Deshaun Hand, Calais Campbell, and the other guys we've lost so far this offseason?
I'm not a cook, Kadeem. I'm not a chef. You know what I'm saying? I don't know my way around the kitchen. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I feel like there's an analogy that I can throw together. Like, when you cooking something up, you can kind of get creative. You could throw this in there a little bit. You have an idea of how good it's gonna taste or what it's gonna taste like, and you say, "Oh, this might even enhance it," or maybe I should take a little pinch of this out, right? And that's what this draft is like. I've been on this podcast for months now saying the Dolphins got to walk away with 4 offensive linemen, 3 starters. And then one of them doesn't have to start this year. You know what I'm saying? So if we walk away with 2 starters, I'll be happy, right? And the reason why I say that is because of this. If the Dolphins come out and draft O-line, first 2 rounds, to me, I'm happy with that. And they don't necessarily have to take another O-lineman, because we're most likely going to have 2 starting O-linemen, which are really, really solid, right? If you hit on the right ones, right? So my thing is, yeah, I want 4 O-linemen. You know what I'm saying? But then if you pick the right ones, you don't have to have 4 of them. So when it gets to D-line, if the Dolphins mess around and go O-line, D-line, then it's like, I understand what we're doing here because it's value. Like, there's other stuff we can find later, and this guy's not going to be here, and I get it. The game is won in the trenches. You got to fix the trenches. But Chris Greer relied on Tua to bail him out. And Tua has been bailing out Chris Greer with his O-line and his quick release. And the Dolphins have the 2nd best offense in the league. Dolphins have the 6th best scoring offense in the league. And all these years we had the sexiest offense in the league. And on paper, statistically, we are a top 10 offense. And Tua has done that for Chris Greer. And it allowed Chris Greer to neglect the O-line. Now that Tua is apparently reckless, and we don't know if he's going to protect himself or not, Chris Greer like, I can't trust Tua to protect me no more. You know what I'm saying? So now I actually have to fix the O-line, and that's where this plan is going to land. Because just like Jason Keck says, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he's been in the building for X amount of years, and there shouldn't be a reason why a particular position on the team isn't fixed, even if you have, when you take medication, it just masks the symptoms. You know what I'm saying? Even if you have Tua who could get the ball out in two seconds to mask the symptoms, you still should want to fix that position. To the D-line, Chris Greer is intentional when it comes to the D-line. Like, people weren't thrilled about Chop Robinson until Chop Robinson started doing Chop Robinson things. They weren't thrilled about Chop Robinson. They didn't love the Bradley Chubb trade. People was not like, oh, look what we just did, Bradley Chubb. Nobody was like that. So Chris Greer does understand it starts in the trenches. I just wish he would understand it more so on the offensive line of the ball. I'm not concerned about Chris Greer and drafts and free agencies, stuff like that. He blew it in 2020. He missed a couple times, but I'm not concerned about Chris Greer.
Yeah, I think for me the concern comes with if the draft is tomorrow, and yes, the season is months away, but the draft is tomorrow, you kind of need to come out of it, or you head into the draft needing, in my opinion, 2 starting safeties, but I will give you the benefit of the doubt and go 1 starting safety. You need 1 starting outside corner. You need at least 1 defensive tackle and like 3 offensive linemen. That's not even to then go into, well, you probably need another linebacker. You probably need
Backup quarterback.
Yeah, had to go quarterback. You have to go try and find a big body wide receiver, or you don't need to, but it wouldn't hurt. You need to go a big body running back. And you have at the moment 10 picks, and it's probably going to whittle down to like 8 or 9 once you start moving around and stuff like that. However, like I always say, you're not going to fix the team in 1 season. He's had multiple years to try and do it, but also it's the NFL. You know, even when the team does look perfect, aka the Eagles, a whole bunch of people go because of free agency and stuff like that. So listen, stick around for mock drafts. We always, try and do what we can, and I think our last one probably our most balanced one. But yeah, Chris Greer, Calais Campbell. It's been an interesting start to April, and the draft is 22 days away.
What I don't want is us to have these needs and then go into the draft and say, oh, we got our O lineman in the first round. Oh, we got our safety in the second round. Oh, we got a D lineman in the third round. We're going wide receiver in the fourth round. We're going backup quarterback in the fifth round. Now, I don't want that. I don't want just drafting for needs. I want value. So if we do get 3 O linemen and 2 D linemen, I'm not going to trip about it if depending on who they are. You feel me? So again, safety has become the running back of the league. You know what I'm saying? And you should be able to play safety. You should be able to get away with not having all pro safety. But look, before we get into the bonus site, we better get up out of here. Overtime, Kadeem?
Yeah.
Listen, if y'all can hit us up on wherever you get your podcast, give us a 5-star review. Tell everybody about the podcast on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon. It goes a long way for us, and we appreciate everyone who rocks with Go Time Dolphins. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive, test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
Charlie and I say this quite a lot, and I feel like it's weird. I can't prove this, but I feel like people don't believe us when we say this. Charlie and I don't speak off air, or don't speak that much. For 2 people who have had a podcast going on 6 years now, sometimes we go days without, like, take last week, for instance. We spoke to each other on Monday before the podcast, and then not again till the end of the week to confirm it was going again on Monday. And I say that to say this. A couple of weeks ago, I was walking home. I am sending a voice out to Charlie something podcast related, probably just, getting ready for a mock draft or whatever it was. And I'm walking, it's a nice day, I'm chilling, and something catches my eye. There's must be about 10 plus people, and they're rollerblading. I have no issue with that. Cool. What I found interesting is that they're rollerblading on the pavement or the sidewalk if you're in America, and then they veer off into the road. And I'm sending Charlie this voice note, and I'm like, hold on, no, these guys are about to get run over because there's cars still moving. So I then go and take a video of what I see. I have the video. Do I have the video?
I hope you got the video.
I do. No, again, it's my fault.
This story ain't gonna be good without the videos.
It's me working out a whole bunch of stuff. So, yes, video. So I have the video. Bear with me as I get it up. Don't play. Let's present this. Share screen. So yeah, I'm like, I have to record what I see because I don't believe Charlie's going to believe it. So I haven't even named the video. As you can see, here's the video. And because it's me talking, I feel safe I can play the sound.
There's no sound.
No care in the world. Jeez.
So it's a short video. There was a lot more to what I saw, but I'll play it again. And it's, as you can see, like cars are moving. Like, okay, right now they're not moving, but when
No care in the world.
Hold on, Kadeem. Hold on, Kadeem. When Kadeem sent me this video, he sends the video, and if I'm being honest, and for our audio listeners who aren't seeing this video, let me try to describe it. Kadeem is walking down the street, regular street, and there's probably 10, like he said, rollerbladers in the street, in traffic, weaving in and outside of the cars. And if I was driving, I'd be like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of our way when it's time to get out of our way. And Kadeem has a voiceover. He kind of like sounds like the old man, get off my lawn. Yeah, no care in the world. Look at these rollerbladers. Like, this is so disrespectful. Like, oh my goodness. And I'm gonna be honest with you. When Kadeem sent me the video, I wasn't sure what I was supposed to like respond to. Like, I'm like, why did he send me this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? I know he's not talking about this. It took a little minute. Now I'm like, it's not the rollerbladers, is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what he was. I didn't know what I was looking at. I'm like, I don't know why he's tripping about this. You want to continue the story, Kadeem, or you want me to go ahead?
So before I hand it over to Charlie basically sends a voice note back saying, this is nothing compared to what happened in Miami. Now, again, I've been to Miami. I was there for a week, spent a week in Orlando. I didn't see anything like this, but obviously, maybe I was in a different part of Miami to where stuff goes down. To be fair, most evenings I was with 5 Yard Lee having a drink, or with Simon having a drink, or just having a drink by myself. I'm in Miami. Why aren't I drinking? Do you know what I mean? So Charlie basically says, what are you on about? Wait till you see what happens in Miami, pretty much.
Bro, for anyone who's been to like South Beach or Brickell or downtown Miami, you don't cross the street at crosswalks. You cross whenever you want to cross. You know what I'm saying? When you see an opportunity to get across the street, you cross the street. And then even in the traffic, if you're on the beach, South Beach, even the cars kind of don't trip because we're here. We know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? In Vegas, try to nip it in the bud, and you can't really do that in Vegas because you can't just cross the street anywhere in Vegas. And then they hit you with like a $400. This is like 14 years ago, $400 jaywalking ticket. So I don't know what the jaywalking is now in Vegas, but in Miami, it's nothing. Like, people do this in Miami all the time. I'm like, bro, I really don't know what you're tripping about. So I sent Kadeem a video. This is weeks later. I sent Kadeem a video. And I'm like, bro, you was tripping about like 10 rollerbladers, bro. This is what we see in Miami more times than not, like on a regular day. This happen now. It's not all every day, all day, but this is Miami. For everyone who's listening to audio, if you're from South Florida, you will appreciate this video. Run it.
I'm going to turn the sound down because I don't know what. Yeah.
So
But,
what
yeah.
we have is basically a Rough Riders looking video, bro. Like, you know, that stop, drop, shut them down, open up. That's what it looks like. So if you're from South Florida, you know all the ATVs, all the Banshees, all the dirt bikes, all the, what they call them, YNs now. You know what I'm saying? All the young kids popping wheelies, swerving in and out of traffic. And I sent this to Kadeem. It was live. It was live when I sent it to him. And I'm like, yeah, this is happening right now, Kadeem. And you were talking about 10 rollerbladers. Like, get off my lawn. This right here. Matter of fact, Kadeem, I didn't tell you this. That's the street I was born on. That's the street I was raised on. That's Miramar Parkway. And when you take Miramar Parkway east, it becomes Hollandale Beach Boulevard. Bro, this is the street I grew up on, right here. And this is the activity you see. And if you're from Fort Lauderdale, you get a lot of this too. Shout out to LB. I know you probably seeing this like this is regular. You know what I'm saying? So there's also a week in South Florida where it's called Bikes Up, Guns Down. You know, there's a lot of violence down there in South Florida. If you've seen First 48, you know it lives on in South Florida. So it's like a Bikes Up, Guns Down weekend where everyone takes out their dirt bike or their four-wheelers, and it's like a ceasefire, and everyone just goes out and rides all over the streets and everything. Kadeem, when you was tripping about your rollerbladers and I sent you that, what were your thoughts?
Honestly, I expect to see ATVs and, dirt bikes in the road. My issue wasn't so much the chaos. It was just like, your rollerbladers, stick to the pavement, or don't be just weaving in. Again, rollerbladers have no protection. Bikes and ATVs have a little bit of protection. So listen, sometimes depending on where you are, you might see a whole bunch of motorbikes, just tailwind it down the road and stuff like that. You don't see it as much in the UK, definitely not in London. But yeah, I was just like, my first and prevailing thought when I saw that was, get me back to Miami. Like, I cannot wait to be like, I don't like traveling, but Miami just seems like somewhere. Just get me back to Miami.
Bro, and then when you see the dirt bikes and stuff, it's over in seconds. It's like, it's cool. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kadeem tripping about rollerbladers. Let's get out of here, man. We about to go to Patreon, aren't we?
Yeah, very, very. Actually, no. We'll save it for another episode. Michael Desire has a very quick question. Who we got that will tackle Genty without needing an army in the secondary? You probably don't have anyone, but I feel like
we all we do is miss tackles.
But I feel like that was before everyone left the building anyway. Like, and I also think there are going to be a lot of teams who are going to struggle to take down Genty without an army. But that's a whole other conversation for another day. As Charlie said, we are heading over to Patreon, where we are going to recap our mock draft from Monday. So if you haven't joined us over there yet and you're feeling generous, just being payday, head on over to Patreon /Go Time Dolphins. Join us over there. If not, we shall see you on the next one. Peace.